now. Very exciting. So that beat me to it. So our meeting is being recorded this morning, or this afternoon even. So for anyone who can't make it, or if you've friends or colleagues who'd like to get a recording, we're going to be sending that around afterwards. We're also going live on Facebook and Instagram today for the first time. So we're super excited about that. So in addition to people who are coming into the Zoom room, I want to just welcome anyone who's going to be joining us from any of our social platforms. So all right, so it's noon. So I'm going to start, first of all, by introducing myself. For anyone who doesn't know me, my name's Yvonne Cassidy. I'm Director of Development here at Bottomless Closet. And today is our 5th annual donor town hall, which is sort of hard to believe. And because of Zoom's filters, you'd be forgiven for thinking that none of us are aging during this process, and in fact, getting younger. But here we are, 5 years into our town hall. This is something that we do every year as part of Women's History Month. It's really about our commitment to transparency as an organization. It's an opportunity for our whole community to come together to hear about our impact in the previous year, this time in 2024, to look at where we're going in 2025 and beyond. And most importantly, it's a time for anyone to ask questions. And that's really what we're about today. In terms of guiding the conversation, we have Melissa Norden, our executive director, who many of you know, and Yasmin Ibrahim, who's one of our esteemed board members, also who many of you know, who are going to be in conversation for most of the town hall. Melissa is a lawyer by training. She has over 20 years of experience in nonprofit leadership and management. 9 of those years are excitingly here at Bottomless Closet. March marks Melissa's 9th anniversary. And during that time, she's led us through many ups and downs, mostly ups and also some challenging times. So Melissa, we're delighted to have you here today. And in conversation with Melissa is Yasmin Ibrahim. Yasmin joined the board of directors in 2020. Actually, like a few other board members, including our board chair, Nancy Obler, and was so moved to do so during the pandemic, and really at a time when she wanted to reach out and see how she could be of service to the New York City community and specifically women. Yasmin's had many roles here on the board. She serves on the program committee and most recently has been leading our strategic planning initiative. And she's going to speak to that a little bit later on. And that brings in a lot of her own skill set in that area as well. So we're really delighted once again to have Yasmin here in conversation with Melissa. Before I hand over to both Yasmin and Melissa, I just wanted to do some quick housekeeping things. Jessie Graham, my colleague, is on here as our host. Hi, Jessie. Thank you for hosting. Jessie's going to make sure that we are muted when we come in, and the people, other than people who are chatting, are staying muted, just to keep the Zoom room a nice space for everybody. The meeting is being recorded, just so everybody knows that as well. And as I said, questions are a really important part of today, but to sort of keep the flow working really well, we ask that people sort of bring those questions at the end. So whether that's you holding on to your question and, raising your hand at the end, and we'll put the question to Yasmin and Melissa, or if you're afraid you'll forget your question and you want to throw it in the chat as we go through, that's fine too. And Jessie and I will collate the questions at the end and put them to Yasmin and Melissa. So that is enough from me for this moment. I am going to hand over to Yasmin and Melissa, and I will be back at the end to help funnel the questions. So off we go. Thanks, everybody.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Yvonne, for that great intro. Welcome, everyone, to our 5th annual Donor Town Hall. It is unbelievable that it's been 5 years since we started doing this already, and we're delighted to welcome everyone here again and be part of our ongoing commitment to transparency around our mission and impact. Melissa, I know we've had a great year in 2024, but before we get into some of the details, for those who are new to Bottomless Closet that may be on the call today or listening in, can you just give us a quick summary about our mission and programs?
Sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Yvonne, for setting us up for the town hall today. And thank you so much, Yvonne, so much, Yasmin, for partnering with us again on this initiative. Really appreciate it. It's great to see so many people online today, so many volunteers that I see out there, and some of our corporate partners and other funders. So great to see everybody today. As far as who we serve, so we are serving women across New York City, all low-income women who are looking to enter the workforce, many for the first time, others who are looking to re-enter the workforce. They're coming to us because they need help preparing for their job interviews. We are giving them the skills they need to succeed, to get in the workforce, and to become successful overall. We help them with their resumes. We give them professional clothing for their interviews. We do coaching and all kinds of support to help them gain the confidence they need to ace their job interviews. We did really, really well in 2024. We served almost 1,800 clients, 1,780 clients with one-on-one services to help prepare them for their job interviews. This is significant growth over the previous year. We also offer workshops that cover a number of areas that help our clients get on the path to self-sufficiency, whether they're looking to build their financial literacy or digital literacy skills or target a specific area of professional development. We have a really, really great curriculum. I know some of our volunteers who are online today have tuned into those workshops. They're really, really helpful to our clients as they tackle various issues. And we helped almost 2,000 women through our workshops last year alone, which is really continued to grow in that area.
That's incredible.
So, yeah. We're it's really 360 services for the clients who, whatever they need once they come through our doors, we're there for them on an ongoing basis.
Fantastic. You mentioned in the beginning, you referred to them as low-income New York City women. So what else can you tell us about the profile of the women that Bottomless Closet serves?
Yeah, so these women are financially fragile overall. Our clients are 83% of them have a household income of $20,000 or less. It's a pretty staggering stat. About half have a high school diploma or equivalent when they come to us. They are really operating outside the banking system in many cases. About half of our clients tell us that. And so in a lot of cases, there are certain obvious factors there, but they're also undereducated. They are underrepresented in the workforce, most importantly, because of all of these factors. And 83% of our clients are women of color, and about half of them are African American.
So in light of that last stat you mentioned, 83% of our clients being women of color, there's been a lot in the news lately about many companies who are employers, right, rolling back their commitments to DEI programs. How do you think that'll affect our Bottomless Closet clients?
It's definitely going to impact our client. We know that DEI initiatives are crucial when it comes to hiring decisions, and that there's not an even playing field for our clients when they are looking to get hired. I recently looked at data from the New York City initiative called Women Forward, and it showed that women are still making 86 cents on the dollar as compared to white men. And that number drops to 64 cents on the dollar for African American women and 57 cents for Hispanic women. So with fewer companies engaging in DEI initiatives, this gap is going to continue to widen. And we're seeing, unfortunately, more and more companies every day drop those initiatives. So we are keeping an eye on that and how we can support our clients as they deal with this even more challenging environment.
Got it. So it's good that you're keeping an eye on that. But in addition to the corporate kind of employer DI changes we've been seeing, we've also been seeing some significant changes at the federal funding aid level. Will this impact Bottomless Closet in any way?
So it's not going to impact us directly, but many of our referral partners, our community partners around the city who refer clients to us, do receive federal funding. They are, don't have the flexibility we have because we don't receive federal funding. And so any change with our referral partners does have an indirect impact on us. And also, obviously, we're getting a lot of questions now about the immigrant and refugee populations that are being served as well. And while they are not a core part of our mission, we do have clients who fall into both categories that are served by our referral partners as well. Many are dedicated to those specific areas. We don't collect data on immigration status. It is not a part of what we do, and so we want to reassure our clients of that information. But being again that our referral partners do focus on those areas, it indirectly impacts who comes through our doors because it's who's coming through their doors. And so we have actually had targeted information sessions for our volunteers, our staff, and actually tonight for our clients who are dealing with immigration issues, so that everybody knows their rights and that everybody can be in the best position possible.
Got it. That's very helpful. So now let's shift gears and talk about impact. You mentioned earlier that we once again saw a strong year-over-year increase in the number of clients that we served across all programs. How are contributions from individuals, companies, and foundations, many of whom are on the call today, how are they helping Bottomless Closet respond to this increase in the demand for services?
Yeah, so first of all, it's I just remember back to when we first started doing this, Yasmin, and how the numbers were so low. And now it's really nice to see the trajectory going like that, right?
It was pandemic, rough times.
Right, rough times. And so, we had a really nice increase in demand for our services over the past couple of years. In 2022, we saw 1,000 clients. In 2023, it was 1,500. As I mentioned, this past year, it was 1,800. So everything is really going in the right direction. It just took us some time to get back to those numbers, obviously, with the world not cooperating the way we would have liked. And with our workshops, it's really been impactful to see our clients double down in wanting to become educated and learn about more topics. Even at the time during the pandemic when they weren't in the workforce, they were trying to upskill. And that interest has continued, which has really excited me, quite honestly. So we went from about 1,600 workshop participants up to 2,000 over the past time as well. So that's been great. But we couldn't have done any of this without contributions from donors and funders of all sizes. It really does take a village to accomplish these things. And we have done a lot of new things over the past couple of years to enhance our ability to serve our clients and to serve them better, more clients and better, right? So we've opened up an additional day of the week. We actually hadn't been open on Mondays until fairly recently. We are now open on Mondays for client appointments. We've also added some shifts during the week to build out the schedule more comprehensively to give more time for more volunteers to come into the mix and more client appointments. So we've continued to build there. We've also made some technological improvements that have streamlined our services and our ability to serve our clients. So we've offered our clients a way to schedule in an electronic fashion so they can manage their appointments better. And our volunteers also have the ability to go through a software where they can schedule electronically. So really trying to enhance the entire experience. Plus, as many on the call who've been in the office will recognize, we've made a lot of enhancements to our boutique. We had some grant funding and some supporter funding that enabled us to build out certain areas of boutique, to have more inventory in the boutique, to streamline our inventory management systems, enhance our shoe area, provide an undergarment area, all those things. So really want everything working on all cylinders. And then finally, and most importantly, I would say our team has changed. So, our ability to deliver this impact is dependent on having a great team behind us. And so we've had a lot of new people join us to ensure that we are fully resourced, starting with Jesse Graham, our new database manager, who's on the call today, and Marlon Navarro, our program coordinator, who's the first person that you see when you walk in at the front desk. Tori Kammer, who is our development and communications manager, which is a new role for Bottomless Closet, and she will help enhance our communications so more people can find out about the work that we're doing. Elizabeth Richards is our new program manager, and she's working very closely with our volunteers. And so Anna Santiago, who many will remember, is our program coordinator, but she has shifted roles so that we can deepen our relationships with our referral partners. So lots of new faces on the team, some folks moving around, but also wanted to shout out Pam Collins, our program director, who's been with us about 8 years now. Yvonne, as I mentioned, Yvonne Cassidy, who's been our development manager, development director for about 8 years, and Carlos Calderon, our office manager. So we have a really strong team. So it takes all those resources on the back end to make all these things happen. And our staff is really well poised now to support these growing programs at a time where the world is opening up more for our clients.
That's fantastic. I mean, I'm really happy that you were able to fill the open positions that you had, as well as evolve the roles to make them a better fit for the client needs. So I think that's been fantastic. I mean, in addition to this amazing staff, you mentioned our volunteers a moment ago, and as we all know, volunteer career coaches are really the lifeblood of Bottomless Closet. So can you give us a kind of a little bit of an overview of how things are going on the volunteer end of things?
Yes, absolutely. We have a great team, as I mentioned, but we could not do the work we do without our volunteers. So we're a staff of 9 in total, but we have over 132 active volunteers now for the first time since before the pandemic. They are certainly the backbone of everything we do and work so closely with our clients. Our volunteers logged 4,720 hours last year, which is incredible. We actually started this year recognizing volunteers who had achieved 100 hours plus for the year, and 11 volunteers fall into that category, which is incredible. And one of them is our Volunteer of the Year, Stephanie Steele. I don't know if Stephanie's on the call today, but it's been incredible to recognize how many people have achieved that point, how many new faces we have. We're onboarding a new cohort of volunteers as we speak. And we have our next volunteer training scheduled for March 24th. And that is still open to anybody who's on the call today who may have never volunteered but is interested in volunteering. So please reach out.
100 hours. Wow, that's very impressive. All right. So any new programs or services you want to take the opportunity to tell us about?
Yeah, sure. Every year we've been introducing something new, and it's all been in response to client feedback, right? So we're always thinking about the obstacles our clients are facing when it comes to being successful in their job search and in the workforce. And we're looking to remove any barriers that we can. So last year we launched our computer lab because we understood that our clients really were struggling with lack of access to technology. And it was a barrier for our clients in their job search. And so about 80 clients took advantage of using the computer lab last year. Many came back several times, which is actually a really good thing because they found a comfortable space where they could do their job searching and a supported environment with volunteers and staff around to help them out. Many of them don't have access to computers. And it's obviously so critical to their job search and to being able to edit their resume. And we really want to empower them to do these things on their own, but give them a supportive environment to do it in. And then second, we launched our client alumni program, which is something that I really had wanted to do for many, many years. And COVID kind of set us back a little bit there. But it was a really good opportunity to reach back out to clients who had been through our doors before. And we recruited a number of former clients who wanted to get ongoing professional development help and support and deepen their relationship with Bottomless Closet. So we launched it in May, and between May and December, we held 6 events with 131 attendees. And we were really excited to see the number of clients who wanted to engage in that way with us. Many are at different places in their career path, journey, life, all the things, like all of us. But we offered them all kinds of professional development online learning opportunities, and 94 clients completed 313 online learning modules in just those 6 months. So really excited to see where this program goes and how we can continue to support our clients and have them have opportunities to support clients that are coming through the ranks now. So really excited to see where it goes.
That's fantastic. So if we've had kind of a great overview from you around what's been happening this past year, but if we look to the future now, and can you share with us some of the short-term, longer-term goals that Bottomless Closet is working towards as an organization?
Sure. So every 3 years, we embark on a strategic planning process. We look what we've done in the past. We look at our goals and priorities and make sure that we are aligning our resources effectively to support the program and organizational goals overall. This was something that we've done for all of our history. It was a little bit more challenging in the pandemic to really have a good sense of where things would go in the world. And so it's really good to be able to plan in a more stable environment. But Yasmin, you've been a leader on this initiative this time around, and really been the driving force behind our strategic planning process. So it'd be great if you could share with our audience today about some of the initiatives that we're working on right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to. I mean, I definitely helped drive it, but this was a huge, huge team effort across the organization, and by no means just me. Many members of the board and the executive team, the staff have been incredible. And I think just a quick summary is that we've been working really hard to confirm a set of strategic priorities, as Melissa said, for the next 3 years. And, you know, the core, I'll mention the 4 pillars. They really revolve around, the first is client programming. Really, it's all about, our client needs continue to evolve, and we want to make sure we continue to evolve with their needs and understand what they need and how we can make sure that we're providing exactly that. So that's the first. The second is around raising awareness of Bottomless Closet. We want to make sure that more clients and more donors know about us. So that is one of our big priorities, so that a larger group of clients have access to our services. The third could be more internal, but it's really like we're always revisiting our framework of key success metrics. How do we define success? Making sure that as an organization, we all have a very clear North Star when it comes to, what are we trying to do for our clients? And then the final pillar is around fundraising, and it's really diversifying and expand raising our fundraising sources that are really what makes all of this impact possible. And, those 4 pillars are our focus areas where we want to drive a lot of impact, but ultimately it's all about growing the number of clients served. All of this should result in that in the end. And we're deep in the, planning and execution phase at the moment, and very hopeful for the positive outcomes we're going to see over the next 3 years from that work. It's been an amazing experience working with everyone on this. But back to you, Melissa. We both have talked about fundraising in our comments, and can you give us an update on how we closed out 2024 and if there are any specific goals we have for this year?
Sure. And thanks again, Yasmin, for your leadership on the strategic planning. It's been invaluable to have your help. It was 2024 was a very tough year for fundraising overall, but Bottomless Closet did very well. It was our 25th anniversary year, so we had a lot of momentum around that. We were able to re-engage a lot of people who had been kind of out of our circle for some years, but never forgot about us, which was great. Obviously our steady support from our donor base that's been ongoing. In 2025, we're looking to grow at a steady pace, diversify our supporter base, as you mentioned, and build fundraising plans that are sustainable, and support our growth as an organization. No year is easy. Yvonne will tell you that. She works very hard to lay out fundraising plans, and then the world laughs, right? So we really are building on all cylinders so that we are prepared for any situation, and really seek funding from different sources. Really excited to announce everybody that we received our first multi-year grant, which was pretty exciting last year. Our Planned Giving program has really continued to grow, which is great. We're actually adding a new event this year in the fall, so details to come, a little bit of a teaser there. And of course, our spring luncheon is coming up in May, which we are really excited about, and is really always a great opportunity to connect people within our community. And lots of people look forward to that every year.
So the luncheon is on May 14th, you said, and at Cipriani again. And, it's always such a fun event and so inspiring. But tell me, like, after such a stellar event last year, and it was the anniversary event, and everyone at my table had a fantastic time, like, how do you replicate that kind of success? How do you keep it fresh? Ooh, I think, did Melissa freeze?
I think Melissa's frozen. Are you back, Melissa?
Back.
Yes. So we're very fortunate to have an event that has a lot of loyal supporters year over year. Many nonprofits would be really, really excited to have an event like that. Not everybody is able to support that event. So we're really excited that the event continues to grow, and has been critical to our long-term success. We really insist on a fresh approach every year, to keep everybody engaged. And we've taken some risks over time, and really, it's really informed decisions as we go through it. And given the environment that our clients are facing and women in general this year, our theme is from obstacles to opportunities. And we are creating a program that really speaks to the resilience and the tenacity of our clients every single day. Our client voices are always at the forefront of what we're doing, and will be be a focus of the program as usual. And we are looking at tweaking the format to bring some new dimensions as we do every year, but surprises ahead. But I'm really excited to mention that we are honoring our longtime board member and former board chair, Ann Blackman, who I see is on the call today. So we're really excited about that. Stephanie Steele, as I mentioned, will be our Volunteer of the Year. We are also honoring Stacy Daxon, who is Vice President of Operations at Structure Tone, a construction company, and also a Bottomless Closet partner. I see Stacy's on the call today as well. We will be honoring her with our Inspiration Award. And finally, which is breaking news, we have just identified our Male Ally Awardee, who is Manuel Chinea of Popular Bank. And Popular has been a funder and supporter for almost 10 years now. They have really done a lot to elevate women, as has Manuel personally within the bank, and develop women at all levels throughout the organization. So we're really excited to add him to the program and hope to see lots of you there.
Fantastic. It's going to be another fun one, I'm sure. So for our amazing donors who are either want to support us or continue to support us, what would you say about the why? What's the why in the face of so many other demands on their resources? Why should they make a contribution to Bottomless Closet?
Well, first of all, thank you. Thank you to everybody in our donor and supporter community. Whether you're giving $10 or $10,000, it all makes a difference, and we couldn't do the work we do without your generosity. There are a lot of issues in the world right now. People have a lot of concerns about what's happening for women, especially. And there are many things outside of our control. But a donation to Bottomless Closet of whatever size impacts a woman in need in New York City, so that you can change her outcome and change the outcome for her and her family. And whether you can make a financial donation or not, you can do a clothing drive, you can volunteer, you can teach an online workshop. So there's lots of ways to get involved that aren't financial as well. And I think those are equally as important. And so the more people we can get involved in our community, whether they're bringing a friend into an event to learn about the organization, whether they're joining the town hall today to just hear what we're doing and spread the message, it's all supportive of our efforts, and it's all helping us invest further in a women's future. So the whole community, all the support, we need all the things. Like I mentioned earlier, we have 9 staff members, we have 132 volunteers, but it's really our larger community, including our board, including our funders, including the person who is putting their blouse in a box in a clothing drive in New Jersey, right? It's everybody that makes a difference for us. And so thank you to the entire community, and your continued support is really appreciated.
Thank you, Melissa, for leading this all. And I think that's a great place to end our conversation and a great jumping off point for our Q&A. So maybe let's bring Yvonne back in. And Yvonne, I know you've been keeping track of questions if something's come in through the chat, but if anyone has any questions, please raise your hand and we'd be happy to address any.
Yeah, thank you so much, Yasmin and Melissa, that was just really great. And it was, even though I personally have heard a lot of this, it's just really nice to hear it framed in this way. I think I don't know if everyone's just got all their questions answered so far, or if people are being a little shy, or perhaps there's a technical glitch, but I am not seeing any questions in the chat as of now. So if people have questions, let's just take a minute to give people a chance, if they do have anything, to either put it in the chat, or if you want to raise your hand, or if all of that feels like too much, even just unmute and ask a question is fine too. We're a pretty easygoing group here at Bottomless Closet, and the most important thing is we want to hear from you if you have something to say. I would just take a minute to say, Melissa spoke to the fund, how we achieved our fundraising goal last year in the face of a very challenging year. We try to make sure that people know how grateful we are for all of your support, but I just firmly believe you can never say that enough. And there's literally so much happening out there at the moment, and every fundraising report I read talks about just how challenging it is. So to have even today a group of 45 people a minute ago who take the time in their day when there's so many other things to tune in to hear about Bottomless Closet, to support us in all the ways we do not take that for granted, and we're very grateful for all of you. And I think it seems like people maybe have had their questions answered. I don't know if we should have had a plant in the audience. We didn't do that, but that's okay. I think, if anyone has any questions after the call, you can always email me, email Melissa. Our emails are on the website. If it's a question for Yasmin, we can get that question to her as well. Thanks, Meryl, for your feedback there. Oh, we have a question from Laurie. Okay, Laurie Goldstein. Thanks, Laurie. So the question is about how to start volunteering at Bottomless Closet. Melissa, do you want to take that one?
Sure, absolutely. As I mentioned, we are always looking for more volunteers, and our next volunteer orientation is March 24th at 10 a.m. We can email you information, but you can email our program manager, Elizabeth Richards, at erichards@bottomlesscloset.org to get signed up for that volunteer orientation. Again, Elizabeth Richards, ERICHARDS@bottomlesscloset.org. And just so folks know about what it looks like to onboard with us, everybody who wants to volunteer comes to that orientation. It lasts about an hour. Thanks, Yvonne, for putting that in the chat. You actually work with other volunteers to shadow their appointments, to see other different styles of how our volunteers work with our clients. Once you have gone through a series of shadows, you will be on your own to volunteer with our clients. So that entails working with our clients to get them outfitted for their job interviews in our boutique, and then working to review their resume, build it with them if they need that help, and do any coaching they need. So help them with getting ready for their interview. And really, it's supposed to be a very personalized experience, very individual, one-on-one, to take in their background and give feedback and help build their confidence so that they can ace their job interview.
Thanks, Melissa. And yeah, both Jesse and I had the same idea. We put Elizabeth's email in the chat. And I would just add to that if you're from a company or another type of group and you want to do some kind of group volunteering, that's also something that we offer. And also Elizabeth would also be the right person to contact about that too. So thank you for that question, Laurie. We also, now the questions have started, we have a few more questions coming. So the next question I see is from Lois about where do people donate clothes? And it's sort of a related question. I'm going to roll it in with Eileen's question about, are we changing the types of clothing we accept from donations given more casual work environments in certain industries? And then also Linda's asking about what are the biggest current needs for clothing. So I don't know, Melissa, if you're able to answer all those clothing questions in one answer.
Absolutely. Happy to speak to that. Thank you for wanting to make a clothing donation. You can drop off clothing donations at our offices, which I did mention at the top. For those who don't know, we are at 1 West 34th Street on the 5th floor, right across the street from the Empire State Building. We accept those donations Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5. You're also able to ship through UPS, FedEx, Postal Service, whatever, to us anytime. Also, all LaFleur showroom and clothing stores accept donations for us, whatever hours they're open, but I ask that you please check their website as their hours do change. And as far as our greatest needs, they really don't change that much. We are always in need of more plus-size clothing. We also, at this time of year, are looking for coats for our clients. That still continues to be an area of need, and purses and shoes. And to answer the other question about whether the asks have changed, Not really, although maybe some office environments are more casual. People still need a clean, neat, professional-looking outfit for their job interviews. So we have, maybe we are receiving a little bit more casual clothing, but at the end of the day, I think people are maybe less formal in what they're wearing, but it's still the same pieces that go into it. Everybody still wants black pants and some kind of cardigan or blazer and a nice clean top at the end of the day, and some kind of shoes. Shoes are so critical to clients. A lot of our clients have jobs that they're on their feet all day, and we want to give them a solid pair of shoes so that they are comfortable in their interview, not walking in high heels for the first time on their interview, and really have a solid pair of shoes to walk in during their job as well. And we update our needs on our website and our social media. We're constantly putting out specifics at the time. And so, always check our social media for updates.
Thank you, Melissa. And just on the topic of social media, and you had mentioned our new staff member, Tori, who's our communications and development manager. We are having a lot of new type of content on our social media channels and more client-focused content than ever, and videos and that kind of thing. So if you're not already following us across the platforms, our handle is at Bottomless Closet NYC, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We are on Twitter as well. So it helps us when you follow us and when you engage, because that gets us in front of the way the algorithms work. It gets us in front of more people as well. And to Yasmin's point, one of our objectives has been to increase awareness of Bottomless Closet, and we don't have a massive advertising budget or / any advertising budget, so this is how we need to do it. Okay, a couple more questions to do with shoes. What about comfortable sandals for summer months, and also black sneakers or sneakers type shoes? A question: do we accept them? Melissa, can you speak to the shoes?
Yes, I'd say black sneakers, yes, not regular sneakers, but maybe black sneakers. We always look for black solid looking shoes. Sandals, not so much. Toes out in an interview, not so much. But one thing I did fail to mention this year that we did implement was we actually offer scrubs for our clients now. We have a partnership with Figs. We've had a lot of clients over the years who are going into healthcare jobs. It's the #1 growing sector for jobs. 80% of healthcare workers actually have to provide their own scrubs, which are about $100 a set. So we've partnered so that every client who is going for a job in that industry now either gets a set of scrubs or a $100 gift card so they can go buy the kinds of scrubs that they need. Yeah, we are evolving as we see a need from clients.
Thanks, Melissa. Yeah, absolutely. And I think with the sneakers question, the more lifestyle type sneaker rather than the workout style sneaker in general would be more appropriate. We have a question from Facebook Live. This is exciting. Do we take scrubs donations? I don't actually know the answer to that question, so I'm going to nicely pass that over to our executive director, and I'll find out myself. Do we, Melissa?
Yeah, so absolutely. We obviously, again, just launched this partnership with Figs, so we do have brand new scrubs for everybody, but if they are clean and brand new, we will take them. I've learned a lot about scrubs, but interestingly that many healthcare facilities have specific requirements about the scrubs. It be a certain color, a certain style. So the more that we can offer in different ways, the better. So as long as they are new, that is great. I also saw a comment about Rothy's. We've had donations from Rothy's in the past. They are great shoes for our clients. We haven't gotten any recently. So Stacey, you've got a connection there. We would love to reinvigorate that relationship. It is hard to get shoes that are brand new and are appropriate for a job interview.
Absolutely. We would love to get more of that, and they're very environmentally friendly as well. So, and sustainability is something that we're also working towards. Great. And I saw a nice comment also from Linda about our LinkedIn posts, which have been informative. So thank you for that, Linda. We do try and get as much content out there that we think is going to connect with our audience as possible. Okay. Any last questions coming through? And this is great. Thanks everyone for getting the conversation going. Okay. Well, as I said, if you do have questions that come up afterwards, we're very accessible. You can shoot us an email, you can jump on the phone. We are delighted to have so many people show up today. You will be getting an email in your inbox with a recording of this session. So again, please feel free to share far and wide. And, you know, if this afternoon or in the days ahead, somebody's been on this call and you have a thought or an idea that comes to you that you think, oh, I wonder would that be of interest to the Bottomless Closet team, please let us know. You know, we're a small team. We're very open. We're always, you know, keen to hear from our community and your thoughts and ideas as well. So please don't be a stranger. And thanks again for coming today. And mostly thanks so much, Yasmin and Melissa, for all the work you put into today and making it such a great conversation.
Been a pleasure. Nice to see everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And thank you again, Yvonne, for moderating, and Yasmin for being an awesome partner in this initiative. And hope to see many of you at Bottomless Closet, at the luncheon. And thank you again for all of your support. We couldn't do our work without you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.